As Rabbi Sapedin reminded us, we Jews in our lectionary cycle are reading the story of the Exodus from Egypt. Moses appears time and again before Pharaoh demanding, "Let my people go." Moses had never imagined himself in this role. And in fact, when first called by God to assume it, he objects. "Who am I that I should stand before Pharaoh? Who am I that I should rescue the Israelites from Egypt?" Indeed, the rabbis of old wondered why it was that God had chosen Moses for the task. And in answer to their own question, they share a legend, not in the Torah, but in the Midrash, about Moses tending the sheep of his father-in-law Jethro. One day, one of those sheep wandered away from the herd. Moses, who kept regular count of the animals in his care, realized that one was missing. And so he backtracked to find the sheep crouching by a pool of water, drinking thirstily. And then, lifting the animal in his arms, Moses said, "Had I known you were thirsty, I would have brought you water myself. Now you must be tired. Let me carry you back to the rest of the flock." God observed the kind-hearted shepherd and declared, "If this man demonstrates such care with the flocks of a mortal, I will entrust to his care my flock, Israel." Dear friends, tonight we are honoring an individual who, for both Catholics and non-Catholics alike, has become a shepherd. He has given his love to the people of this city, and it has loved him back. To call him a mensch is not just trite, but inadequate. He is an individual of such extraordinary warmth and compassion. His manner creates an intimacy that is truly rare. He makes you feel at home in his presence. Temple Emanu-El's relationship with Timothy Michael Cardinal Dolan began, of course, with my beloved predecessor, Rabbi David Posner of blessed memory. Dr. Posner had called Archbishop Dolan upon his arrival in New York to welcome him, and from there a truly loving friendship was born between the Cardinal and the Posner family. That affection remains. When Cardinal Dolan addressed us on the occasion of our 180th anniversary last spring, he spoke about the power of loving kindness to heal the broken places of this world. And he chose as his example of loving kindness Sylvia Posner's care for David when he was ailing. How her devotion should teach all of us how to be present for our fellow human beings. It was a universal truth drawn from a deeply personal friendship, and to hear His Eminence share it offered a window into who He is. At his core, with all the administrative responsibilities that come with leading the Archdiocese of New York, Timothy Michael Dolan is what he has always been: a pastor. The ability to look at another human being and witness the pain and the joy and the loneliness and the image of the divine. That's what makes him a truly special person and friend. In the world of interreligious affairs, there are those who seek to rally allies, and there are those who seek to become friends. Don't misunderstand me. Allies are important. We need them when our community or our values come under attack. But too often, relationships between religious leaders and communities are grounded in allyship and its inherent quid pro quo. I much prefer friends. When Dr. Posner reached out to Archbishop Dolan, he had no motive in mind other than to welcome a newcomer to New York and make a friend. And when you have friends, you don't need allies. Friends don't need to be asked to show up. They know when their presence will mean something, and they just do. And to the Jewish community, Cardinal Dolan has been a true friend. Whenever some event occurred in the world that he knew would affect our community's physical or emotional safety, he would call and ask, "Josh, can I come over and pray with you tonight?" That happened more times than I can count. I've told the story before, how after the Hamas attack on October 7th, the first call I received was from Timothy Michael Cardinal Dolan. He was in Rome, and he phoned because he wanted all of us to know he was thinking of us, that he would be present for us whenever we needed him, and because he wanted the Archdiocese to make a contribution to relieve Israel's suffering, and he was seeking guidance from me and other rabbis as to where the funds should go. And none of us will ever forget his published statement just hours after the attack, supporting Israel's right in that moment to protect itself. He knew that Israel would come under rhetorical assault from every direction as soon as it even contemplated responding to Hamas. And he wanted to make clear where he stood. It was an extraordinary act of solidarity and friendship. But I think my favorite interaction with Cardinal Dolan reaches back to his earliest years as New York's Archbishop. I had not yet arrived at Emanu-El. I was still serving in Chappaqua. But I had come into the city and was walking around Midtown when this man wearing an Irish flat cap and a warm smile nodded to me on the street as he passed. A scarf covered his collar, so nothing about his dress identified him. And it took me a moment to realize who it was who had greeted me. But when I did, I remember saying to myself, I would like to meet this man someday. The pulpit of Temple Emanu-El has given me many blessings. One of them has been the opportunity to not just meet Cardinal Dolan, but to become his friend. And I am so thankful. Now, there are a lot of us who share that privilege because he gives that friendship so freely. One of those friends, also one of mine, is Father Ryan Muldoon, priest secretary to Cardinal Dolan and the Archdiocese director of ecumenical and interreligious dialogue. He joins us on the bema tonight, and I am so grateful to you, Father Muldoon, for your efforts to bring this celebration to pass. And in further tribute to His Eminence, and as witness to New York Jewry's gratitude to him, it is my delight to invite up two more of his friends and admirers. The first has spoken from this pulpit many times, and as recently as a month ago. Rabbi Joseph Potasnik is the executive vice president of the New York Board of Rabbis, and a rabbi truly gifted in his ability to foster inter- and intra-communal relationships and friendships. The second is Linda Morels, the wonderful president of UJA Federation of New York, which in its efforts to combat anti-Semitism has worked extensively with Catholic Charities, the Archdiocese, and Cardinal Dolan.